There's no doubt about it.
We know, Lovey. He recruited Ricky. We know. That's the whole reason why we're bringing him on. He comes from Arizona State.
It was more just for the listeners to know that who may not know that Herm Edwards was once the head coach for Ricky Pearsall when he was at Arizona State and recruited him to Arizona State. So that's why we're having Herm on, is to talk about the player that.
Loveman, are you okay?
Dude, I'm tired.
Yeah, I can tell.
It's been a week for you, boy.
You're like limping around here. You threw on God knows what.
So when the Giants are at home,
no Miami picks in the first round.
Stop. Oh, that's why.
Just waiting on Cameron Kitchens to fall to the third round, so he could be a bust somewhere.
Freddie Kitchens?
He might be the only guy they draft out of Miami. Who wants a Miami player these days?
Nobody.
Not even Mario Cristobal wants him. Continue.
Yeah, you've been on that. You've been a little, So anybody, Herm Edwards recruited Pretty Ricky to Arizona State. Herm Edwards, let's coach Pretty Ricky at Arizona State. Herm Edwards knows a little bit about Pretty Ricky, which is why we're bringing Herm Edwards on to talk about Pretty Ricky, newest member of the 49ers.
Ricky plays to win the game.
Should we start calling him Yak Harlow? Ricky is third person.
I like Yak Harlow.
Pretty Ricky bet not talking third person.
Nice.
No, he hasn't earned that.
Yeah, no. Although it is always interesting hearing different guys talk at the podium, seeing the families in the rooms. There was one guy, I forget who got drafted. Someone was asleep on the couch with the whole family, and he was just passed out, chilling.
Whose parents was that? Was it Brian Thomas Jr., the LSU receiver, where the white lady asked the parents, was like, how's it going? Then she asked the mom. She goes, what did she say? She tried to make it all dramatic, like they came from a hole in the wall.
No. Well, there was the funny one where it was, and I'll get the sound. She was basically asking, man, how far have you guys come to where you are at right now? And then she just replied, yeah, we came from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. She just took it literally as possible.
Hey, I had one of those moments. What it was, though? I had one of those moments this week.
You know what it was, though, if you look deeper? Because it was funny for anybody, but there's a lot of these situations where they get to this. Remember a couple years ago, ESPN would put on the draft profile, his mom was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Trey Wingo would do every single soliloquy of his backstory.
And it'd be like, yo, you're leading into it. Not everybody comes from back. So the response to that was like, we're from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We're good. Like, we don't need no sappy story here. My son just got drafted. I'm from Baton Rouge, homie. We live in a regular neighborhood.
And you got pride from where you're from. Right, that's kind of what I took it as, too. But it was just funny how literal, because she wasn't going for that.
The reporter was looking for a sappy story, like, oh, yeah, when he was 8, I worked 3 jobs or something like that. She was looking for one of those dramatic stories. It's like, yeah, it's not happening here.
I had the priest at the baptism on Sunday ask me, like, what are you guys here for? And I was like, what do you want from the church? And I didn't know. I was like, is this an open-ended question? Like, how do we want him to get love from the community or something? And he's like, for a baptism? I'm like, oh, that was the question we were looking for. So I've had similar moments.
Xavier Worthy Guyton got drafted from Oklahoma to lineman. And there's a dude in a Frisco Niners hat
best.
And a T-shirt.
It was the best.
And he's hugging him, knowing he's going to the Cowboys.
It was so good.
Oh,
do you like to survey the girlfriends? Like, for example, Michael Penix was there with his significant other, and she kept adjusting her dress the entire time. I like to see the dynamics between the girlfriend or wife or fiance or whatever and the parents. Like, does he hug the parents first, the girl?
It's always the parents, number one.
Why are you saying stop it?
In my
Am I
head,
gonna get in trouble?
You know what goes on in my head? Well, how long is that going to last?
That's what I was going to say.
Every time this happens, I go to CeeDee Lamb, snatching the phone from the girlfriend.
Or what about Russell Wilson's girl?
Oh, she was gone in 2 seconds after she became a meme.
Where is she at?
Sierra now.
Where is she now?
Oh, that's
exactly.
Not right.
That's the point.
Dude, like, who's there in the green room, and who's there 5 years later? Like, it's always interesting to see what's happening. Or you get that one guy who got drafted. Where did he get drafted from? Georgia? It's about 4 or 5. But Monty Jones retweeted it this morning, where this white lady, who I guess was a teacher or something, was hugging him, and the mom was like, yo, get the hell up off him. This is my moment.
Wow.
It's always interesting.
And then you have like Joe Alt looking like the giantest toddler of all time alongside of all normal sized people. I love seeing the dads that are like ripped out of their minds too, just jacked. Like I wonder where he got it from.
Because he played, he was huge.
Yeah,
still.
Yeah. Like I wonder where he got it from. I don't know. Clearly the milkman's kid.
Sandra, how far has this family come? We came from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
What a great answer.
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong. She was trying to find something else, like how far.
It was so genuine.
Come?
That's why it was funny too. It was so nice.
Right. Like, hey, were you on food stamps before? Well, how far did you come? Like, it was like, whoa. You don't need to have a deep story on everything anyway. Oh, let's go to Brian and Palo Alto.
It was Bo Nix, his brother, by the way. Or somebody was just chilling. Someone was on. I'm getting texts from people.
Probably was a little high.
That somebody in his family was sleeping on the couch.
Well, if they're on the East Coast too, it's late. It's late out there.
12 pick.
Never mind. That's like 8 o'clock. Never mind.
Before we get to BPA, just want to preface this call by saying he tweeted us last night, Chaz. Or he tweeted me. And by the way, BPA called when I told him he was in Alcatraz, but I'll let it slide today. It's a payday Friday.
Well, I told him the 23-1, as in locked up for 23, out for 1. We'll allow it for today. We're giving him a little air today. The warden is very generous.
All right. Okay. It's an awful pick.
Well, you're the warden. I'm the deputy.
I guess I'm being. Listen, BPA tweeted at me. It's an awful pick. Guy isn't a starting wide receiver in the NFL.
I'm right.
So, does BPA still feel like he felt last night about the pick? BPA, good morning to you.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Anytime.
No, you know what? No. You know what? I think, hey, I have a big mouth sometimes, but yeah, I'm more positive about it than I was. I honestly didn't know much about him. I think he's actually a pretty good player. My thinking coming in was like, you have to get if you're going to draft wide receiver, you have to get one of the top guys. And obviously he wasn't viewed as that because the thought being, okay, that guy needs to be a really kind of high-functioning starter next to Ayuk or Debo, whoever they pick. But now I just hope they just don't move Debo. The hope now is, to go one more year with Debo, and Ayuk together. Move off Debo after this season. I mean, to me, it's if they don't address the offensive line, then they really didn't learn their lesson. So hopefully they get a couple solid offensive linemen who can compete to be starters.
Well, that's where I want Jackson Powers here, and you're just looking at where their draft pick is. I don't know if he's going to fall to them. They don't pick again until the late second round, and that's where I'm questioning like. All right, they have a second and a third rounder. That's it. That's all they have left, the Niners, for today. So, are they going to trade back in? Are they going to trade one of their guys? Are they going to move, ammunition from next year into this year? Frazier's still out there. Zach Frazier from West Virginia, another center. I'd love to have him as well.
BPA, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not sure it's worth it to trade Debo Samuel just to move up in the second round, right?
Yep.
I mean, they have a lot of picks. I mean, they could move up in the second round without giving up Debo Samuel, probably, right?
9 picks
that's
left.
what I would try to do.
Yeah, 9 picks left.
But
in the draft.
Offensive line, offensive line, at a minimum, you got to get a couple good guys to improve your, upside on the offensive line because in my opinion, the offensive line is the biggest reason they didn't win the Super Bowl.
BPA,
I agree with
real quick, BPA, before you leave. I know you're watching the NBA playoffs. Lakers are down 0-3. LeBron going to solve some problems for the Warriors next season?
He would solve more problems than they're currently looking like they'll be solving. So, I think if you're going to beat Denver and you look at Oklahoma City and these teams are stacked, you're going to need to pair up some stars. Or they can do hey, let's end this with dignity and, let's go into the convalescent home and fade away, right? I don't know.
There it is, BPA.
I'm sorry. I hate to break the narrative.
We let him out on Bell.
So there's a lot of just speculation about trade and whatnot. If you got another second rounder and let's say a fourth or a fifth, most people aren't doing that for Debo, huh?
No, I'm in the camp of let's run the stink pack. Let's add these rookies to the equation. Let's win this freaking Super Bowl in New Orleans, for crying out loud. And let's do it with Debo. Let's do it with Ayuk. Let's do it with Kittle. Let's do it with CMC. This offense was humming last year. Humming. That was the beauty of it. You couldn't lock in on one guy. These guys are all ballers. Ballers. I'm not into trading ballers for prospects. Now I do trust Lynch and Shanahan to make the right pick, and, I've warmed up to Pretty Ricky, but if I had to, let me run this back. Let me add Pretty Ricky with Ayuk and Debo. That sounds deadly. And then Kittle and McCaffrey, you still got Juszczyk who's catching passes in the Super Bowl. I want all the weapons I need. I got to load up for Kansas City. I got to load up for Philadelphia. I got to load up for the Rams. And it may take you at least 30 just to be in the damn football game. I need all this ammunition for Brock Purdy to rock and roll next season. Because offense is starting to win these Super Bowls, man. You better have some explosives out there. This guy's explosive. Debo's explosive. Ayuk's explosive. Why not keep the band together for one more? Just one more. Just give me one more year.
I hear you. I would like that, but their next pick is at 31 in the second round. And so I just don't think they're going to be able to shore up all their needs. It's just really hard. It's really hard. And I believe the second round to be fantastic value in terms of, you get really premium players under team control for 4 years. Like, I like the second round. I think it's got a lot of really good playmakers. There are DBs available, multiple DBs at the front of this second round I like. There are offensive linemen I really like. There are other receivers I really like. I hear you. I would actually think about moving next year's picks to move back into the second round.
So move next year's picks and keep the players. Because then if we're going to move off some of the players next year, you may be able to recoup some of this. Maybe not as high, but you may be able to get back into it.
Yeah, I think that's the equation that they're running right now in their head. Like, is Debo worth more today, or is he going to be worth more next year?
Wear and tear. But what if he balls out, man? I mean, this team, gosh. You know what? 408 makes a good point here. Should need a mobile text line. Don't forget that Brock Purdy will get a proper training camp this season. He partaked in training camp last year. He didn't go full tilt, but I think more importantly, the offseason.
He couldn't play 3 days in a row.
Yeah, no, he couldn't play 3 days, but the offseason I think is more important. Once you shore this up and you figure out who's going to be here, the Niners end up leaving this NFL draft. The draft's completed. They make their picks. If they get, if they keep Ayuk and Debo, now we bring in Slick Rick, you bring in Debo, you bring in Ayuk, and let's roll with the offseason workouts. And let's build this rapport with Brock Purdy so we're all on the same page.
So if they don't trade Ayuk away, you think they have the contract ready to go to pay him right away?
They can work on it. And they may have to just end up giving him the back and just give him the damn back.
We agree. He's probably not going to show up for all the training camp stuff.
I need him in training camp. So get this deal done. Give him. A.J. Brown got the extension yesterday. He got extended. Get me the damn bag to Brandon Ayuk so I could deliver it to him. Do it ASAP. Get the money right. We know what the market is. I keep coming back to the Christian McCaffrey conversation we were having with Florio yesterday, and I feel like whether it's Diamond or Lenore, obviously much smaller contract than what we're talking about with Brandon Ayuk, whether it's CMC, whoever. Aaron Banks is a guy that I've thought about, like maybe they're going to extend him. I think that they've got a couple of extensions in their mind that they're thinking about that we haven't even thought about. Maybe. 888-957-9570. How are you feeling about this pick? How are you feeling? Can you hit me with the draft pick? With the number 31st pick. I want to hear it one more time. Spadone. I'm throwing you on the spot here, but I want to hear it one more time.
You want the jingle, or you want me to just get you the draft selection?
The draft selection.
I can just grab that for you right now, Bonte, as I'm vamping and pulling it up on the computer.
Don't vamp inside.
Right now, no, but I got it right
vamp outside.
Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? I can play John Lynch right here.
Sure.
I can play John Lynch.
And I'll play this right after it. How about
still
that?
hoping to work something out with Ayuk.
Why is always us? But, I don't know. I know that we're continuing to have positive talks with BA, and we are really efforting to get something done with him. And we're excited about continuing down that path. And Brandon being a part of this team, Debo is a part of this team and a big part of this team. So, like I said, we feel great about that group, and we feel like we just made it better with another really good addition to it who complements the group real well.
That's John Lynch last night after they made this pick.
With the 31st pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Ricky Pearsall, wide receiver, Florida.
I'll hear the word comp thrown out pretty much on draft scenarios. Can you give us a comp on Ricky Pearsall? Who does he remind you of?
It's tough. God, I don't know if I want to do that. It reminds me of myself, just a lot faster, a lot better, much better hands, can jump, can just do everything much better. I don't want to be held to that forever. I'll let him do that.
Ricky Pearsall.
Honest to God. I know he presented it as a joke. I don't think he was joking at all. I do think he sees himself in this guy.
No, well, who did we just have on?
He loved Trent Taylor.
Well, he just had someone on that said, and I'm sorry, I can't remember right now, but they said that he used to show wide receivers his film.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like he believes that.
Yeah, yes, I know he does.
He does believe it.
He's just like his dad. Like they're the arrogance for these Shanahans. I love it too because they win.
It's great.
It's great.
Hey, at least you know where you stand. Right? You know where you stand.
You know I have a love-hate relationship with Kyle Shanahan, man.
You've heard of what Fig Jam stands for when it comes to Phil Mickelson, right?
No, what does it mean? Fig Jam?
Yeah. Freak, I'm great. Just ask me.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm paraphrasing the front end of
Hellacious seeds.
I thought you were just talking about yourself. You sure it's Phil? Sure it's Butcher?
Well, everyone's got a little Butcher in them.
Well, no, I'll have there in Santa Clara. Heather! Good morning, Heather. Long time no talk. What's going on?
Hi. How are you guys all doing this morning?
We're doing great. We're loving Ricky Pearsall right now.
My knee is a little sore, but I'm feeling good.
Yeah, you know, Heather, Shasky's always injured. He's always injured.
I know. All right. Well, I always feel like it's hard to make a strong opinion after one pick, as I think it's best to evaluate their whole class after they make all their picks.
That's smart.
But I had mixed emotions. I had mixed emotions yesterday when I heard the pick because all these situations that everyone was talking about this morning, you just play all these things, and I'm in the camp where, like you, Bonte, where I just want to run everything back as well with everyone. So, but you know what made me feel better? As I was looking through the 49ers IG post, I noticed a quote in the background of the pick with the 49ers brass. So, and it was from Bill Walsh. So it said, the process must take into account a number of factors. And then I think it says one critical question must be answered. Does the individual make a meaningful contribution to the team? So I always blindly follow Bill Walsh, So I'm feeling good. I think we just need to get all these weapons around Brock Purdy, our quarterback.
Yep.
That's all I have to say.
Call
Good
again.
call, Heather. Very